So, very students, today we will discuss principle of superposition of force. So, suppose a charge Q1 is surrounded by multiple charges Q2, Q3, Q4 and so on. Large number of charges are present. There are so many forces exerting or experienced by charge Q1, force between charge 1 and 2. If we assume that all the charges are positive or like charges, then what we can say, force expressed by charge Q1 due to charge Q2 would be outward. We can write down it F12 vector. I am talking about the force expressed by charge Q1. Both are like charges. This force expressed by charge Q1 would be outward due to Q2. Now what is the direction of force expressed by charge Q1 due to charge Q3? It is also outward. We can write down it F13. Force expressed by charge 1 due to charge 4 would be outward, F14. Then what is total force? Suppose there are n charges. What is total force expressed by charge Q1? The total force experienced by charge Q1 by charge Q1 is equal to vector sum of forces exerted by individual charges. This is principle of superposition of force. One more time I will repeat. The total force expressed by a charge due to the charges present in its surroundings is equal to vector sum of forces due to individual charges. So what we can write down regarding force expressed by charge Q1? F1 vector sum of forces F12 vector plus F13 vector plus F14 vector and so on, F1n vector. If there are n charges, we know very well. Earlier we had discussion regarding the vector form of Coulomb's law, and we have expressed F12 vector. If you remember, it was F1 vector is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The force between Q1 and Q2, you can write down it Q1 Q2 upon, suppose distance between 1 and 2 is R12. Then what you can write down it? R12 square, and if you remember we have written it R21 cap. In case if both are like charges, we had discussion about it earlier. What we can write down? F13 vector 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 upon R13 square R31 cap. If the distance between 1 and 3 is R13 plus so on. Now if you want to write down it in terms of summation, how you can write down it? F1 vector is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation Q1 Q2 Q1 Q3. Q1 is common. You can write down Q1 Qi upon R1 I R2 3, but 1 is common. You can write down Ri 1 cap, where I is equals to 2 to n. The value of I starting from 2 to n. One more time you can see 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 is coming in every time, so you can write down it Q1 Here it is starting from 2, Q2, then Q3. You can write down it Qi, where I is starting from 2 to n, and then R1 common, I starting from 2, 3, 4 square, I 2, 3, 4 different, and then 1 is common, so you can write down Ri1 cap. This is the form of summation of principle of superposition of force. One more time I will repeat the sentence. Principle of superposition of force. It states that if a charge surrounded by large number of charges, then the total force experienced by the charge is equals to vector sum of forces. Second, regarding the vector form of Coulomb's law, we have discussed earlier. So force F12 vector we can write down Q1 Q2 R12 square R21 cap. We have written it earlier. F13 we can write down 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 R13 square R31 cap. If you want to write down the term in terms of summation, how you can write down 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is coming in every term. You can keep it outside. The sign of summation Q1 is coming in every term. You can keep it as usual. This in every term you are getting one more term of Q2, Q3, Q4. So you can write down it Qi, where I is starting from 2 to n, and the sign of modulus R13. 1 is coming in every term. You can keep it as usual, and then I is starting from 2 to n square 2, 3 R21 cap, 31 cap, 41 cap. You will get in every term. 1 is coming common. You can write down 1, and I is starting from 2 to n. So this is what about the principle of superposition. So now we'll discuss numerical problems based upon principle of superposition of force. And the first question is charges of plus 5 microcoulomb, plus 10 microcoulomb and minus 10 microcoulomb are placed in air at the corner A, B and C of an equilateral triangle ABC, having each side equal to 5 centimeter. Determine the resultant force on the charge at A. First of all, we'll draw the diagram. We have equilateral triangle ABC. Here, this is A, this is B, and this is C. Charges kept at ABC are plus 5 microcoulomb, plus 10 microcoulomb, and minus 10 microcoulomb. It is asked you to find the force on charge A. You want to find out force on charge A. First of all, we have to think how many forces are exerting on charge A. There are two forces. Force on charge A due to B, force on charge A due to C. So first of all, see, force on charge A due to B is attractive or repulsive if we see both the charges are positive. And if both the charges are positive, then we can say the force exerting on charge A due to charge B is repulsive. How the force will exert on charge A due to charge B? It is repulsive force, so B will repel A. And if B will repel A, the direction of force on charge A due to B would be outward. You can write down it FAB. What does it mean? Force on charge A due to charge B. Now we see second pair. Force on charge A due to charge C. One is positive, other one is negative. We can say the force would be attractive in nature. So how this charge minus 10 microcoulomb will attract A? It is attractive force. So direction of force would be inward. Yeah. direction of force would be inward, and we can write down it FAC. What does it mean? Force on charge A due to charge C. There are two forces exerting on charge A. We know that it is equilateral triangle, so this angle would be 60 degree and this would be what? 120 degree angle. Now, before finding the vector sum of these two forces, we have to find out the magnitude. Each side of the equilateral triangle is 5 centimeter, or we can say R is equals to 0.05 meter. You can convert the value provided in centimeter to meter. Yeah? Getting? Everybody? Now, FAB, magnitude of FAB, that means the force exerting between A and B. Now we'll find the force between A and B. It is FAB, K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Put the value 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. Q1 is equals to 5 microcoulomb. You can put the multiplier of micro. 5 into 10 to the power minus 6. Q2 is 10 microcoulomb. 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 divided by R square. The value of R is 0.05 into 0.05. It comes 180 Newton. I will suggest you, my dear, calculate it yourself. Similarly, find the magnitude of force exerted on charge A due to C. So if you calculate it, it comes same. Why it comes same? Because 10 microcoulomb, this is plus 10 microcoulomb and minus 10 microcoulomb, but we are finding the magnitude. So put the value. K is 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. Q1 is equals to 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 into Q3, again minus 10, but you will put it plus 10 because we are finding the magnitude, divided by R square. 0.05 into 0.05. If you calculate, it comes again 180 Newton. Remember, we are finding a magnitude. Now we know how to find resultant magnitude of force exerted on charge A. It is equals to under root FAB square plus FAC square plus 2FAB FAC cos of 120 degree. You know the angle between the force FAB and FAC is 120 degree. Put the value FAB square plus. Now see the magnitude of FAC and FAB same. So you can put it FAB square plus 2FAB FAC. You can put FAB because magnitude of both the forces are same, and cos 120 degrees minus half. This 2 will become cancelled with this 2. FAB square plus FAB square, 2FAB square plus this minus sign will carry here minus FAB square under the root. So it comes FAB square under the root, and finally comes FAB. FA, total force on A is equals to FAB, and we know the force exerting between A and B is equals to 180 Newton. So this is final answer. Net force on A due to charge B and C is 180 Newton. One thing always remember, that if two forces are having same magnitude acting at 120 degree angle, then the resultant force on the charge would be equal to the magnitude of either force. Getting? Here you can see force FAB and FAC both are having same magnitude and angle between them is 120 degree. Resultant force we are getting is also 180 Newton. We'll discuss second numerical problem. Consider the charge plus Q plus Q and minus Q placed at the vertices of an equilateral triangle as shown in figure. What is the force on each charge? You have to find force on each charge. This is NCERT example. So first of all, we will find force on charge A. There are two forces acting on charge A. Force on A due to B. We can see one is negative, other one is positive. So force on charge A due to charge B is attractive in nature, and hence how this charge plus Q charge will attract A? It will attract like this, and hence the direction of force would be towards B. We can write down it FAB vector. The force on A due to charge C, it is also attractive because one charge is negative, other one is positive. How this charge C will attract A? You know, it will attract like this. So direction of force would be towards C. Or you can write down it FAC. You can use same way to find out the answer. What is the direction of net force on A? It is in between FAC and FAB. FA. So first of all, find the magnitude of force on A due to B. We can use the formula K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Put the value K 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. Q1 is equal to minus Q, but you will put magnitude only. Q2 you will put magnitude only, divided by R square. R is equals to L. L square. So simply, or you can write down it directly KQ square upon L square. You can keep in terms of the mathematical value, or you can keep it as usual, KQ square upon L square. Now find the magnitude of FAC. Magnitude of FAC, you will get the same value KQQ upon L square, or you can write down KQ square upon L square. Now I will find the resultant of both the forces. See, FA is equals to FAB square plus FAC square plus 2FAB FAC cos of 60 degree under the root. Angle between both the forces is 60 degree. We know the magnitude of FAB and FAC are same, so we can write down FA, that is net force on charge A, is equals to FAB square plus FAB square plus 2FAB FAB. Instead of FAC, you can write down it FAB. Cos 60 degree is 1 by 2. 2 will become cancelled with this 2. So it comes FAB square plus FAB square plus FAB square. It comes 3 FAB square under the root. Or you can keep it 3 under root 3 FAB square under the root. If you keep FAB outside, FAB, put the value of force of magnitude between A and B, it is KQ square upon L square. So it comes under root 3 KQ square upon L square. We have calculated the force on A. Now what you will do, you will find force on B. Force on charge capped at B. Here, first of all, we have to see how many forces are exerting on charge B. So, again there are two forces. Force on charge B due to charge A. What is the direction? This is negative charge, this is positive charge. So the force is attractive, but how this negative charge will attract this positive charge? Upward. You can put the direction like this. Both the charges are positive. So what is the direction of force on charge plus Q due to this plus Q charge? This will repel this charge. So direction is outward. And now we can say again there are two forces. First is force between B and A. You can write down it FBA. Force on charge B due to A. Now force on charge B due to C, FBC, and the resultant force would be in between FB vector. So first of all, find the magnitude of force FBA. No need to calculate it. It comes same. We have calculated it earlier. The magnitude of FAB and FBA are same, but direction is different. So it will come KQ square upon L square. Now find the magnitude of FBC. It comes again FBC. Same KQ upon L square. KQ square upon L square. But if you see the angle between FBC and FBA, it is 120 degree angle. So how you will find the resultant force on P? Force on charge B is equals to FBA square plus FBC square plus 2FBA FBC cos of 120 degree angle. Now FBA square plus FBC and FBA are having same magnitude. So FBC you can put FBA square plus 2FBA. FBC you can put FBA cos 120 degree you can put minus half. If you solve it, FBA square plus FBA square 2FBA square, and this 2 will become cancelled and this minus sign would carry here, minus FBA square under the root. So if you will solve it, FB resultant force on B is equals to FBA square under the root or equal to FBA. It comes KQ square upon L square. Same thing we have discussed earlier in previous question. I told you that if two forces are having same magnitude acting at 120 degree angle, then their resultant comes equal to the magnitude of either force. Clear? Now we'll find the force on charge C. Find the force on charge C. There are two forces acting on charge C, due to charge A and due to charge B. So what is the direction of force on charge C due to A? As we know, one is negative, other one is positive. Direction of force. To find the direction of force, we have to see whether it is attractive or repulsive. Force exerting between both is attractive in nature, but how this negative charge will attract positive charge? We want to find out force on plus Q charge due to this minus Q charge. How this minus Q charge will attract plus Q? Upward. So direction of force would be like this. Clear? Or you can write down it FCA. Now, what is the direction of force due to charge B? Force is repulsive in nature. How this positive charge plus Q will repel charge plus Q outward. We can write down it F C A C B vector, and angle between both is 120 degree. The resultant comes in between FC. So again we have to find out the magnitude of FCA. It comes same, KQ square upon L square. Magnitude of FCB, again it comes same, KQ square upon L square. And now we'll use the formula to find resultant force on C. FCA square plus FCB square plus 2FCA FCB cos of 120 degree. No need to calculate it. We know that the resultant comes equals to the magnitude of either, even though we can find it. FCA square plus FCA square plus 2 FCA FCA cos 120 degree minus half under the root will become cancelled. FCA square plus FCA square minus FCA square under the root, it comes FCA square under the root. So finally it is equals to FCA. The resultant force on C is equals to the magnitude of F, force acting between C and A, and it's equal to KQ square upon L square. So you can see we have calculated the force on each charge using principle of superposition of force.